Mr. Moylan, I cede the last 10 seconds to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Barn and Mr. Gunsinkra, has either of your companies submitted an unsolicited request for the lease sale for areas surrounding Guam to BOEM?
Quick answer.
We have not, but we have for American Samoa. We requested the start of the process.
Thank you, sir.
And we have not.
Thank you very much. I will now recognize the ranking member of the full committee, Mr. Huffman, for his 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Barron, are there any commercial deep-sea mining operations anywhere in the world today?
No.
Thank you for that acknowledgement. As I mentioned in my opening remarks, we have a history of companies that have tried and gone bankrupt in this space. Your own timeline has slipped from 2025 to 2035. Why, in the face of all of this, is the United States the most attractive place in the world for your company right now? What is it about the U.S. regulatory environment at this moment that attracts you?
Well, firstly, the reason why there is no commercial activity is because up until the current administration, most activity was happening through the international body, which of course, despite being established in 1994, has not been able to achieve the one goal they set out for, and that was to put in place a set of rules. If I may correct you with regards to our timeline, as we announced this morning, it is our plan to be in commercial production by the end of next year, 2027. So I'm not sure where you heard 2035. I think the permitting framework is very important commercially, and the best way to protect any environment is to regulate it. And of course, America used to lead this industry back in the 1970s and 80s, and then they stood aside while the international community tried to get their act together. But the rules always existed here. And the reason why America is so interesting to us is because there is a legal framework, and because reindustrialization for Western economies is absolutely essential. And I think in the last decade, we've seen developed economies like America be happy to let go of industries, cede control to countries like China. But these secure supply lines are critical to economies of futures,
right,
and we can play an important part there.
So as I understand it, other countries have tried to get commercial operations up and running within their exclusive economic zones, and they've been unable to do that. You've chosen the United States. You've cited the rule of law, our regulatory framework, et cetera. Let me suggest that there may be another reason why you have chosen the United States, because it's a potential loophole. 168 countries around the world are bound by the law of the sea treaty. We are not. You can't get permits in any of those other countries because of their legal obligations and international law. So you're here, and let me ask about your supply chain. Does the metals company own the vessels that you would use for commercial operations?
Well, the requirement is that those vessels will be U.S. vessels, and that will be the case. NOAA have rules that are very explicit with regards to that supply chain. And of course, you know, this administration has
So they would be U.S. flagged, the vessels would be flagged in a country that is not a party to the law of the sea treaty.
That's right.
Yeah. Are your processing partners in the law of the sea treaty countries like Canada?
No, not Canada. We have been exploring processing our materials in Japan. But what you'll learn through the course of this year is that the administration is very keen that we come and build that processing, and they want to financially support that on USA soil. The last time a processing plant was built for nickel in this country was 1954. The last time a processing plant was really built here was 1980, and that was for aluminum. And so you need to be able to invest in these centers on the ground if you're going to secure supply lines. And that's absolutely our intention.
But all the processing partners you're considering, these are all countries that are in the law of the sea treaty, right?
Not what I just talked about.
Japan?
What I just talked about means USA.
Okay, for the vessels, right. But I'm asking about the processing.
and for the processing.
and for the process. You do the processing in the United States.
That's our plan.
So,
And we're currently talking to the administration about what they could do to help us fast-track the establishment of that on USA soil.
so you are depending on the United States not only granting this unusual permitting, but standing up an entire industry that doesn't exist right now for the processing.
Well, what I'm depending on is the desire to reindustrialize. And I hear a lot of people talk about there being more efficient ways, but there are no resources in USA of the size and the quality as polymetallic nodules. And so it's an opportunity for America.
I appreciate your answer. Thank you. I am out of time, Mr. Chairman. Let me just say, I think it is sad that we are platforming essentially a venture capital fundraising charrette for an industry that has such a dismal track record and such a wishful path to ever achieving success. I yield back.